Spread amongst members of the Southside Compton Crips of what had occurred inside the MGM. And then that's when Dwayne Davis began to devise a plan to obtain a firearm and retaliate against Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur for what occurred inside the hotel against Mr. Anderson. After Davis obtained a gun, he entered into a white Cadillac along with Terrence Brown, Andre Smith, and Orlando Anderson. Based on our investigation, this is where we know they were seated. White Cadillac, Mr. Davis took the gun that he had obtained and provided it to the passengers in the rear seat of the vehicle. As they were Koval, they located the black BMW, which was driven by Suge Knight, and in the passenger seat was Tupac Shakur. And as they turned around, they pulled up near the passenger side of that vehicle and immediately began shooting at Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur. Following that shooting, the white Cadillac fled, then reviewed multiple times by different investigators assigned to my section, but it wasn't until 2018 that this case was reinvigorated as additional information came to light related to this homicide. Specifically, Dwayne Davis's own admissions to his involvement in this homicide investigation that he provided to numerous different media outlets. In our section, we knew at this time that this was likely our last time to take a run at this case to successfully solve this case and bring forth a criminal charge. It was at that time that this case was assigned to Cliff Mogg, a detective plan over the last 5 years. We've conducted countless interviews and corroborated numerous facts that were not only consistent with the crime scene on the night of the incident, but also corroborated and were consistent with the sequence of events that night. This ultimately led to us procuring a search warrant which was executed at Mr. Davis's residence in Henderson, Nevada. And following the execution of that search warrant, in close coordination with the District Attorney's Office, this case was presented to the grand jury, which ultimately led to Davis being indicted on charges of murder. Before I hand it off, so as I stated earlier, in this case, the only living suspect related to this investigation is Dwayne Davis. All other 3 suspects are deceased.
Vanessa.
Thank you. Vanessa Murphy, Channel 8.
Return of this document. This is the indictment we've been waiting almost 3 decades for. It spells out the facts and circumstances and what justifies a Clark County grand jury in returning an indictment.
Can you talk about the murder charge if he is not the one believed to have pulled the trigger?
Yes, well, under Nevada law, and this is the law in most states in this country, you can be charged with a crime whether you're directly involved or whether you're an aider and abetter. We have an aiding and abetting statute, which provides that if you help somebody commit a crime, you can be equally as guilty. The best example is
the only person behind the plan to kill Tupac, or was he one of multiple people who came up with this plan?
I think the best way to characterize that is Dwayne Davis was the shot caller for this group of individuals that committed this crime, and he orchestrated the plan that was carried out to commit this crime.
And can you say how he obtained the gun, or who he obtained it from?
We know that he obtained it from a close associate. That a lot of the actual details of who specifically, all that come out at trial, but he obtained it from a close associate of his.
Yo, 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 it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in. And as I said yesterday, when you're doing crime, staying out of sight, out of mind can keep you from doing prison time. But in Keefe D's case, he wanted to be in your sight, in your mind, and after a while to go by, he's going to be facing a lot of time after a long time, 27 years later. And I'm going to add links in the description for the clips in the beginning from Law and Crime Network to see that entire press conference that the Las Vegas Police Department had in full at. And I put the clips that are kind of paint what exactly made them come with this case. And as you heard right there, media, admission in media, Tupac is one of the greatest rappers ever, entertaining people ever, dynamic, misunderstood as they describe. Everybody knows it. One of the most recognizable faces in the world. You the last living person that has any connection to the night that he was killed besides Suge Knight, but people that was in the car. This is known by a lot of people. You talking about it on media. 4 TV appearances from 2017 to 2018. One on A&E, one on Fox, one on USA. And then in 2018, he did the BET one. Also in 2018, he wrote his tell-all memoir book. Then in 2018, he appeared on Vlad TV. Then a little bit after that, he started making appearances on Art of Dialogue talking about it. So we got 4 TV appearances or mentions, then a book, and then 2 media outlets. They said media right there. Admissions in media. Ain't nothing else to speculate or talk about. Only thing is, they not giving all the details until the trial, as they said. Now, Vlad did say he was contacted to give up footage, but he refused and he's not cooperating. If you saw those interviews, Vlad most definitely asked him those incriminating type of questions. He talked the circles around some of them or said, go look at the book. But they most definitely watched those interviews and used the media as a role in this. And then when you look at the paperwork on the indictment right here, and I'll have both of these pages up and y'all can press pause on it if y'all want to read it in full detail. But as the cop said right there, you do not have to pull the trigger in this state to be charged with the murder. And that takes us over to page 2. Go down to part 2. By aiding or abetting in the commission of this crime with the intent that this crime be committed by counseling, encouraging, hiring, commanding, inducing, and or otherwise procuring the other to commit the crime, to wit, defending, obtaining a firearm for the purpose of seeking retribution against Tupac Amaru Shakur and Marion Knight, a.k.a. Suge, and while in a vehicle with Terrence Brown, a.k.a. Bubbled Up, and DeAndre Smith, a.k.a. Big Dre, and Orlando Anderson, a.k.a. Baby Lane, did provoke said firearm to DeAndre Smith, a.k.a. Big Dre, and Orlando Anderson, a.k.a. Baby Lane. And you see what angle they gonna try to run with. They say that they know where the gun was acquired from, who gave the gun up. They also said there's nobody else that they are looking into involved in this case for this murder. He was the last one that survived that night. All 3 of the other people are deceased. Keefe D took that deal back in 2010 while facing those federal and state charges on the drug. He was looking at life in prison for drugs. He gave them, hey, my nephew did it. Orlando did it. Immunity. And I don't know exactly how that proffer or nothing like that works. I'm not going to come on here and lie and BS y'all, but I'll tell you this. He should have been quiet about it. Should have not talked about it. Should have took it as it came. 27 years later, seems like they got it. They gave you the time where they jumped back in the water. 2018, Tupac, one of the greatest figures ever. Keefe D going down for the murder charge and everything. We don't know exactly if this will stick in court. He's being charged with it when I'm saying he's going down, but we don't know if this is going to stick or hold up or exactly what evidence they going to use yet, but it will come out in due time. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.